Hey everyone, have a here, bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be doing our full breakdown and of course some fun little team builds for the LR Carnival featured Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in, and as usual, I will start with the card arts, and I'll tell you what, from SSR all the way to LR, there is really, it's a solid set of card arts here. I think they're amazing, they're great. I guess I can only nitpick on a certain things, like the SSR card art. I miss always the outline, the white outline that normally you see in SSR LRs. You didn't really have that here, but he's all powered up and electricity's going, so it looks great. I really like the TUR, right? The Kamehameha, the look of it, the angry Super Saiyan 3 eyebrows. I think that is one of the better TURs for LRs of recent that I can remember. Now, of course, we have the LR card art with the with all the ghosts kind of flying out there. I think it's fine. The animated version, of course, is generally better. But all in all, I actually like the TUR the best out of all three. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the stats here. Starting off with the LR HP attack and defensive stats, 20,000, which is, I guess, kind of low these days in terms of HP, but 20,760 for attack, and then a nice solid 15,500 for defense. So all around, nothing too special, but just normal stats these days. So let's go ahead and break it down a little bit further, make this bigger here. This is a Majin Buu Saga 200% leader. I was kind of disappointed in that, given the fact that we have so many Majin Buu Saga leaders right now, and of recently we had the Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we had the Fat Buu. I understand why this is a 200% leader for Majin Buu Saga, but it would have been nice to see, like, time limit or something of that nature. But anyway, that's what the leader skill is. You have the super attack 12 key. Super Kamehameha is considered other, I guess. It's not Ki Blast. Greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage to enemy. And then Dai Missile Barrage is the 18 key, greatly raises attack for one turn, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and then greatly lowers defense. So the passive skill here has Ki plus 7, which is amazing, because what you want to do is you want to make sure you are always at 24 key, which seemingly you are all the time with this unit. Ki plus 7, attack and defense 200%, and then plus an additional defense 77% when receiving attack, and then after you receive an attack, you get an additional attack 77% within the same turn. Now, this portion here really only benefits if you're going to be running the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks in first position. Sometimes you might not, so you're going to do a little bit less damage. Actually, it's quite a bit. The 77% boost there is really strong. So if you do get hit and then you're going to do your super attack, you are going to do quite a bit more damage. So just kind of keep that in mind in terms of first position for Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks here. Now, reduces damage by 22% for 5 turns. I hate the 5-turn limitation, but in a sense, you're going to be fine. But ultimately, I wish this was unconditional. So, but this is from the character's entry turn, not from the start of the battle. So if you are having bad luck in terms of the starting rotations, you should be fine in all here. Plus an additional defense 77% and reduces damage by 33% for a total of 55% here. When there is another final trump card ally on the team, you have to make sure when you're running this unit here, you are always running this unit with a final trump card unit on the team, because he just does, as defensive wise, is really bad if you don't have that ally on that team. So randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres, and then plus an additional key plus 1 per key sphere obtained, making it really easy for you to get 24 key with that benefit there with orb changing and the plus 1 to key sphere obtained. And then an additional attack and defense 100% when keys 12 or more, which is like automatic. And then additional attack and attack 77% and launches a guaranteed additional super attack when 18 keys or more. And then another 77% attack and performs critical hit, guaranteed critical hit when attacking when key is 24 or when activating your active skill. You're pretty much going to be doing this all the time, so you're going to get all these boosts here, which makes this unit hit incredibly hard. And then you have a high chance of an additional 777% to defense within the same turn when receiving a super attack. So you have a 50% chance of really just taking no damage, along with your ability to deal with 55% damage mitigation and all that good stuff on top of it. So, and then finally reduces damage by 44% temporarily and causes counters with the ferocious power when receiving a Ki Blast super attack. So anytime you're going up against an enemy with a Ki Blast super attack, you're fine. You're not going to take any damage at all. So really just you have to depend on which enemy that you're looking after, but this is like just a dominant unit when you're going up against enemy with Ki Blast attack there. So you do have an active skill. So nice. This is just a straight up Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. It's not transformed into Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. You just have this additional active skill here, which I think is usable basically when your 5 turns drop and your 22% drops, and you just kind of go ahead and throw this on here just in case you might need that additional defense. So it massively raises attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy, and then defense 77% for that one turn. Activation conditions, very easy, can be activated when the character receives 3 attacks or more in the battle, or when there's another final trump card category ally attacking in the same turn, starting from the 4th turn of the start of the battle. So I think very easy to go ahead and grab. But again, I would save it for around that 5th turn or after that 5th turn when that 22% damage mitigation drops off. Link skills, pretty solid. Super Saiyan, Fuse Fire, Overflash, Flash, Kamehameha, Innocence, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. And then if I scroll this up a little bit here, then you have just a ton of different categories. Not even going to read it all because there's just too many, and I'll kind of talk about them again. But again, anytime you're using this unit in not his own team, you got to make sure that final trump card unit ally is on that team to make this unit viable, right? So anyway, let's now go ahead and break down link sets. Interestingly enough, the best linking partners is transformed OG Blue Fusions with Blue Vegito and then Blue Gogeta. Again, transformed, you're going to get 6 links set up there. However, more realistically, you're probably going to run with these units here if you're going to be running in the Majin Buu Saga, transformed Super Vegito and transformed Super Vegito LR STR. Those are going to be running at 5 links that you're going to get linked up with. I couldn't find the word for it. Anyway, it's so it's just very strange that that's the case. That's going to happen. Of course, the transform Super Saiyan 3 int Gogeta or Gotenks also links up very well on top of that. And again, I mentioned, so we're going to be discussing Majin Buu Saga 200% team when he's the leader. These are the units. You're going to have to bring one of these, right? You're going to have to bring one of these on the team, because if you don't bring one of these on the team, this unit, again, just is not very solid. I did not confirm if the friend would be considered the ally if you're running a Majin Buu Saga team. If that's the case, then you don't have to bring one of these. But I haven't really confirmed that. So when I do this breakdown, just know if the friend counts, if you're running the Majin Buu Saga team, then you're fine. You don't have to bring one. But on my team builds, I'm going to bring at least one just in case, right? So anyway, again, this is the list of units that you do want to bring for Final Trump card for the Majin Buu Saga category. Let's go ahead and dive into the first team here. So when you look at this first team here, I wanted to put in 2 really good units that generally you're going to be running on a multitude of different teams. That's going to be Family Kamehameha Gohan, which of course we know first turn is problematic, and then after that he's absolutely amazing. So just kind of keep that in mind. That I think Gotenks just does so much damage that you might not need in that first turn really anything, because you might wipe out that first stage fairly easily. Anyway, also put in the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, of course. For about 5 turns, he's has so much damage mitigation that he does not take any damage, but then afterwards he does drop off here. He has to be in first position to get that additional boost, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then when he drops off to 2nd or 3rd position, he is going to be definitely susceptible, so just do watch out for that. I did put a Final Trump card unit on here, as you can see, with the temporarily boosted Int Super Vegito there, so keep that in mind. It is temporary boosted. I did add the Majin Vegeta on here. He is an incredible EZA. That position here, you can pretty much add anyone else. Again, I did not verify if, you know, the friend on the when you're building this team here, the other Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is going to count as the final trump card. But if it does, then you can, you know, fill these last 2 spots up with really anything that you like, with all the alts down here. So I did put the Ultimate Gohan as the support unit, so he's a solid support unit on there. But I guess you could bring some other weaker ones on here, but he's probably the better one on here. But generally speaking, this would be a team that you might not even need to run a support unit on here as well. So they should kill a lot of majority of endgame content because Gotenks just does so much damage. So if you don't run something like this, you might want to run the Kamehameha type of... Oh, the reason why I put this on here is if you do want to run this unit here. This was actually supposed to be on a different slide. If you do want to run the boys on this team here, just got to remember his defensive mechanics really are solid, and his crit ability. He gets a boost in crit and damage mitigation if everyone is Kamehameha. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, not everybody's Kamehameha on the Majin Buu saga. So if you do want to run the boys on main rotation or even as a floater, you want to make sure that he's always connected with Kamehameha units. So just kind of keep that in mind. So another team that if you want to run in first position on the Gotenks here is just basically running the Super Vegetos in second position. Again, you can always run the Family Kamehameha in second position as well. And then really anyone else down here kind of below, minus this guy here, unless everyone else is Kamehameha, right? So again, watch out for that. I've seen people run the boys there, and the boys he's going to dodge enough. He has enough dodge ability, but that little extra damage mitigation and crit chance really helps the unit just in case he does get hit for some apparent reason. So, but you do have a lot of other options. You can run really any Majin Buu as well on the team, and we'll kind of look at that team down the road here. But this is really, it's the reason why I kind of developed it like this is this team is really fun when everyone is transformed. Okay, so when both Super Vegetos transform, which would be like the turn 6 and later, and 50% HP and all that good stuff. So it's a little hard to get these guys to transform. But if you guys do get transformed, the counter mechanics are great on here, and they're just very, very, very strong. Just remember, Majin Vegeta does turn into an extreme class, but if he's on a floater position, that's going to be fine because Ultimate Gohan does only support superclass units. So again, keep that in mind. So that's why I like this transformation team. It's just fun once you get everything activated on here. But Gotenks hit so hard, turn 6 might be a little bit tough, right? Might be a little bit tough. Now, if you do have a lack of LRs, this was something that I noticed some people were talking about. I was like, well, I have a few of those LRs, but what if I don't have any of those LRs? What do I do? And this team is fine without other LRs, right? You got the new EZA to Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Majin Vegeta there. You have now the added Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the STR one. Along with, then you could run the Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You have the transforming Gotenks. So you have those units here that can really help out. And again, if you want to run a full Kamehameha team, you want to do that there as well. You'll be fine running the boys if you have that full Kamehameha. Remember, one of the goofiest thing is this guy right here. What is he doing in the card art, right? He's basically firing off a Kamehameha here, and he's not on the Kamehameha team. So it's very, very goofy. So they fixed other things before, but I'm like, come on, fix that. Can't you at least fix that portion of things? Because he would actually run really nicely on Kamehameha in general, right? And anyway, I wish that was the case for the Ultimate Gohan, but he is not on Kamehameha. Then I was kind of going, okay, how can I run the full boys? Can I run a Gotenks / Trunks and Goten team? And I was like, oh man, I need the whole Kamehameha thing. So I had to say, this is what I had to do to make this viable. Forget the 30% damage mitigation, 30% crit when all units are Kamehameha, and just deal with it. And just make sure he dodges, right? So so this is kind of the only kind of viable setup I can create here, where you have to put Gotenks here in as a floater position, and then you're running this unit here that has to be connected with a Trunks in some way or another for it to have basically like 80 something % damage mitigation, right? So anyway, I wouldn't recommend running this team, but if you guys wanted to have some fun, if you guys wanted to do some races or something like that with some friends or things of that nature, you know, everybody on the team needs to be either Gotenks or maybe like a Majin Buu Saga youth team quest or mission that they're gonna shoot out, and we have to complete it this way. So I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about another option that you can run is Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks as a floater, which again I don't recommend, but it might look something like this. Again, when you get these units transformed, you should be fine here, but again, it's not my recommendation to run him as a floater. He's an incredible unit to run in main rotation. And then if you, for some apparent reason, wanted to run Majin Buu's on this team here, you can run it, again, running as a floater. I guess you can run this in main rotation. It just wouldn't be link-wise, would be a problem. And you know, I think you're still fine with 24 key though, because of the rainbow orb changing and stuff like that. But anyway, I just kind of said, hey, you know what, if you wanted to run a Majin Buu Saga with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, it is somewhat viable on that end. So finally, let's go ahead and talk about other teams. You know, generally I don't show a lot of other teams involved. I just want to show that the main unit being the leader of it. There's so many teams to cover. Again, this is just a reminder, if you are going to build some teams, you're going to slot this unit in there, make sure another unit is final trump card, or this unit defensively is not good. So so just watch that when you are putting this in like Kamehameha, or putting in this unit in or Earthbreak Fighters. You're not going to run Time Limit, Connected Hope, Entrusted Will, those types of teams that are out there that you can run. So just kind of keep that in mind. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here and this full breakdown and some fun little team builds. And if you are new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on dokkaning, and we will catch you next time. Later.